Hey everybody, it's me, Destiny, here again with another Let's Talk Real Estate. And today I'm going to give you five mistakes that I personally have made in the first 2 years of my real estate career. And I wanted to share these with you guys. First off, I came to these conclusions, or these five, because I take the time every now and then to stop and reevaluate my goals for all aspects of my life. And today was real estate. And I look and see, okay, well, am I going where I say I want to go with my career? Am I doing the things that I said I'm going to do in order to obtain each mini goal along the way? And I think that it's very helpful, or I have found it very helpful to do this, to not only write the goals and make them smart, very specific, measurable, and excuse me, all of that jazz, but basically had a brain fart there. So basically I say that I think that it's important not only to write these goals, but to go back and evaluate where you are, and that's why it's important that they're measurable, so that you can see over time, you know, hey, I'm here, I'm there, blah blah blah, I'm not there, why am I not there? And that's kind of what I did today. And so yeah, what I came up with these five that I realized if I have actually not spent more time doing these things or not doing these things, then I would be a little bit further along or closer to where I wanted to be with my goals. Number one, I did not take as much continuing ed as I would have liked to. So before I got my real estate license, I was taking classes left and right. I wasn't getting any kind of credit for them, but if it said free lunch and learn, or free realtor class, or free real estate education, or MCE, or whatever, and it was related to real estate, I was all up in there trying to figure out what's going on. I wanted to learn about everything. And then when I actually started practicing real estate and started my business, it just kind of fell to the side. And like, I would go to classes maybe at my office sometimes, but I was not as proactively rather, seeking out educational opportunities to build on to what I already learned. And there's so much that changes on a daily basis in this industry that it's really important. And so I have to admit that that is a number one mistake that I made. And again, I don't know if I said this, but these are not in any order, and I don't say number one as in it's like the biggest mistake that I made. It's just a mistake that I made, and that I wish I would have done more of. So after this video, I will definitely be looking up for more classes and getting in there and participating and just broadening my knowledge of real estate as a whole, because that is important for my clients and for me as well. Number two would be not choosing one neighborhood. So anyone who knows me knows that I have lived in probably every neighborhood in Dallas. Like, I've lived in South Dallas, South Oak Cliff, I've lived in Pleasant Grove, I've lived in North Dallas. I have lived everywhere. West Dallas, you name it, I've lived there, or I have family members that live there and stay with them for a long period of time. So it's very hard for me to say that, oh, I just want to specialize in this one thing or this one place, because I am so used to having my hands everywhere and being everywhere and going around Dallas in a day and visiting so many different places. So in my mind coming in, I was like, hey, I mean, I don't live everywhere, so I can work everywhere. And then I started to notice I didn't want to work everywhere. I was not willing to drive to Arlington or to some of these other cities just to show properties. And so I thought, okay, maybe I do need to scale back. So I did. I kind of said, okay, I'm just going to work in these areas, but I still had too many neighborhoods. And so I wasn't doing anything, and I'm not getting anything done, not really honing in on real estate. So, which is neighborhoods, which is communities, which is lifestyle. So that's something that I suggest to you guys, and that I've learned and I've heard. I think Monty Anderson told me, he said, you know, the key to it is pick one neighborhood, pick one place, one area, put a pin on the map and draw a radius around it, maybe 3-5 miles, not even that probably, and just stick with it. Like, get to know everyone in that area. And so moving forward, that's something that I am definitely going to do, and I'm going to start where I live, because this neighborhood is important to me. Obviously, I chose and helped my mother buy a home here, so I should start here. And I that's what I truly believe, and that's what I'm going to stick with. And we'll see if in a year I have kept my word. I promise, but life happens. So just being real. So yeah, I suggest that you guys don't be like me and start from the jump. Choose your one neighborhood. Specialize, make that neighborhood your neighborhood, and go for it. And maybe you live in an apartment, even better. Even better. Like, get to know everybody in your complex and the complexes around, because eventually they're going to want to move to a house, maybe, and if not, they're going to want to move to another apartment, and you can help them as a realtor with any of those. Like, just, that's something to keep in mind. So number 3 would be having my own personal relationships with affiliates. I relied heavily on the people in my office and other realtors that I just kind of was meeting, and relied on them to provide me with the answers as to who I should work with and who I should recommend my clients work with. So I have a few people who, for like HVAC, this is who I'm definitely going to recommend, or roofing, this is definitely who I'm going to recommend. Outside of that, not so much. And so I realized that if I were to spending the time to build those relationships and have people like contractors on my side, then that's another service that I could provide to my clients as well, and vice versa. Number 4 is cold calling. And I know a lot of people don't really like to make cold calls, which I can totally understand, and I sometimes don't like it, but for the most part, it's pretty fun, and I don't know why I stopped doing it. Again, this is one of those things that prior to actually getting my license, and when I was working for someone else and helping them, I was doing a lot of. But then after I got my license, I kind of slacked, and I was like, oh, I don't have to do that. People told me, oh, you don't have to, you can do this, you can do this, you can do this. So I think that it's important to spend any amount of time, even if it's just 20 minutes a day, making cold calls, because you never know where they could lead. In the past, I did find some amazing deals and connect with a lot of amazing people through cold calling. So that's something I got to do more of. And I'm not going to make any promises on that one, because I still got to figure it out. Number 5 is, just like cold calling, door knocking. Like, and this goes back to even to number 2, which is choosing your neighborhood. When I first started my real estate career and got my license, I was like moving from house to house, to be honest with you guys, like, just to be real, because I always am. I was moving around, and people were telling me, oh, you know, start with that neighborhood, and, you know, just go knock on doors. And in my mind, I'm like, but this isn't this neighborhood I want to be in, so why would I start in this neighborhood? And I kind of hate that, because I should have just started somewhere. I should have started where I was and mastered that, and then moved on to the next. And I didn't. So I recommend that. Like I said, it's a mistake that I made, is not taking the time to go door knock in the neighborhood that I specialize and chose to be a real estate expert in. And the same with the cold calling, and the same with not building affiliate relationships, and above all, education. Like, you guys, education is important. Knowledge is power, and the more that you know about your market, about what's the changes that are going on within TREC, or whatever the organization is that the commission that rules over your state real estate, you got to know these things, and this stuff is important. So that's really all I have for you guys today, and I hope that someone learns from my mistakes and finds this valuable. And if you guys have any questions or comments or suggestions, you know what to do. Leave them in the comments. Shoot me an email. Find me on Instagram. Send me a DM. Whatever you got to do. I'm more than happy to help you and answer your questions if I can. And if I can't, I always find it. So yeah, until next time, guys, subscribe for more, and I'll see you later.